Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here. Long time no see for some of you. I just want to take a few moments to explain why I've had like a slightly prolonged absence from the YouTube streets. I will put a link below the video in the description for those of you who can't be asked to listen to that and just want to see the hands. But for those of you who haven't got any interest, I'm just going to spend a few minutes explaining why I haven't been making any videos lately. It's not a negative thing. If anything, it's a pretty positive thing. I guess we'll do things in order. Um, I was starting to not enjoy poker too much. I decided, when would it have been? Probably late last year. I gave up the one remaining contract I had with a local care company, and I decided just to do very little work for people, for organisations that I had very little interest in working with because I didn't like the structure of them. I didn't like the way, I didn't like the hypocrisy of them, etc. It was getting me down. I was didn't have good relationships with my employer or many of my colleagues because, frankly, they're just shit. The shit at what they do. The shit at, they describe a service that they provide that isn't true in reality. A lot of hypocrisy, a lot of lying, a lot of sleight of hand involved with people's parents, etc., people's loved ones. Didn't want to be part of that. I decided just to fuck it off and play poker for most of my income. And I was already working with one family with respite care directly, and I was working with another couple between my wife and I. So my work was like the least amount of work I've had for a long time, and I decided to just play poker. I think probably from the turn of the year actually, um, and it felt like a good idea at the time. And as we got like 2 3 months in, February especially, if we go back in the channel, you see it documented. I put a lot of hands in, a lot of volume. I made a reasonable amount of money, mostly though from rake back, not from winning at the tables, and that was an equally like shit way of life, shit lifestyle. Um, it's important to me that I have a way of life that I am comfortable with. Be that just doing care work, be that just doing poker, be that being a blend of the two. And I think a blend of the two is always the way that's going to work best. Having all my eggs in one basket, I tend to feel quite anxious when I'm like that. And when I was doing the apps for all through COVID and what have you, it was handy to do that because it meant I could self isolate correctly and not have to go out in the community, keep myself, keep my family safe, etc. But it did feel like all my eggs were in one basket. It made me feel anxious. Didn't really, I wanted to get away from that, and I did that in March 2021, maybe even earlier than March 2021. Um, and it's just important to me to keep my head in the right place. And I struggle to do that sometimes. I tend to lean too much towards one thing or too much towards another thing and don't get the balance right. I think at the moment I, I've managed to get the balance right. I'm now working with an extra family with a lovely young man. So I'm now in a privileged position where I provide respite support for two families for 16 hours per week. We also provide some weekend overnight respite for another family we worked with for a lot of years. And it's just, I think I've just got like struck up the perfect balance where I don't need to make very much money at all now from poker to meet my financial obligations, and I have enough work to do that I'm not feeling like I'm not contributing at all to society. I was very flattered the other week when the newest family I'm working with, the mum put a message on Facebook in a group that I'm in that is basically for the disabled community where I live, and within like maybe 15 20 minutes of her posting saying she's looking for some help with her son, three people tagged me in it who've like experience of working with me, recommending me to them, and that was like really flattering, really humbling. I mean, I know I'm pretty good at what I do, but nevertheless, to have that validated by by people who work with me, who know me, um, is really, it's satisfying, it's rewarding, it makes me feel quite proud of myself. So that was really pleasing. And so I spoke to this lady's family, and at first it turned out that she wanted like support during times that I couldn't really provide it. And I just wished her luck and what have you. And then she got back in touch with me like a week or so later, saying, "Well, no, actually, um, she'd been told, a few good things about me, and she just wanted her son to have contact with me." And it was quite heartbreaking, really. He's a lovely young man, but he's quite lonely. And she didn't use the word, but she effectively said, "The lad just needs a pal," and that nearly broke my fucking heart. I was in the living room talking to her, seeing like how much it meant to her, and yeah, it was just it was a touching moment, but it was quite a heartbreaking moment that it made me like question like what sort of world are we living in where effectively I'm being paid to be a lovely young man's friend, and I don't know what to think about that. All I do know is that I'm going to try my best to become a really important part of his life, and just like try and be a good person, a good influence, and just hopefully try and encourage him to get out and about more, do more things, make some more friends, etc. So he relies on me less while still maintaining a really good relationship with him, while still maintaining um, like the small income stream that it provides me with. So hopefully that's going to work out really well for all concerned, but especially well for the young man that I'm working with. So basically, the upshot of that is I've now got like a reasonable amount of work where I don't have to earn money from poker to meet my cost of living. If I want to meet my savings goals and like have money for nice things, I need to play poker still to get that extra bit of money in. But it's now more of a I can play whenever I want and whenever I feel like playing, more than fuck me, Reg, you have to play. I was getting to the point where, especially in like February, March time, where I didn't want to play, but I had to play because I needed the income, and I was forcing myself to play, and I was doing okay, but that's all I was doing. And there was zero pleasure in it, and my anxieties were beginning to rise because I didn't want to play speed poker because that game is years. As an aside, if you do watch this channel regularly and you've been playing speed poker for years and you're still struggling, you're still slightly losing, breaking even, maybe a small winner, and you're working hard and making no ground, um, that's going to continue for you. For 99% of the people who are listening to this, who are living that life with their programming, that's going to continue for you. It's not going to get any better. Speed poker is just it's AIDS, and it took me. I haven't played speed poker for a while now. Maybe apart from the odd like 10 minute session before realizing how much I hated it. Still, it's bad. It's really bad. You're in like a hamster wheel. You go, your legs go like fuck. Now and again, you'll have a bit of heat and you think you turned a corner, and then you'll just like, get dragged back down again. It's a mess of a game. Do not play it unless you really do just play poker for a hobby and you're not asked. If you're serious about like trying to make a second income from poker, but you've been failing for months or years, that's not going to change for you. It's very unlikely it's going to change for you. And what will happen eventually is you just get fed up, you get pissed off with losing, or pissed off at being break even, pissed off at seeing how much rake you're paying whilst making no money for yourself, and you just quit and leave the game. So and now I've lost my fucking train of thought. But yeah, basically, fuck speed poker. So I've been weaning myself off it. But a problem we've been having at the same time is that Sky is in what seems like terminal decline. The games, most of the time, are shit. You can find some good games at the weekend, and now and again, randomly, you can log in and there'll just be some fish online playing. But by and large, it's just a bunch of in the games I play, which is like mostly 30 NL, a little bit of 50 NL, 20 NL. It's mostly a bunch of pretty modest regs like myself. I'm not saying these guys are rubbish, not by any stretch, but it's a bunch of like really modest regulars who probably because they don't have a particularly high win rate, are like trying to sit as many tables as they can. And the games are just bad because there isn't much traffic anyway. But what traffic there is, a lot of it is just like 4 or 5 mediocre regulars building games around one fish, and those games have just been shit too. So I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on here, Reg? I'm not even enjoying Sky now, and that's what like when the opportunity to work with a new family came, that's why I grabbed it with both hands because it really took the pressure off having to play. And my plan was just let's just play at weekends, and when the games are good, and just try and nick a couple of £100 a month. Then I started mixing some tournaments. That was fun. I enjoyed it. So for like the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been playing very recreationally. Still been putting some hours in, but just one tabling, two tabling, just only playing very good tables. Only playing games I wanted to be at. Only playing tables that I wanted to be at, not being at tables that I didn't want to be at. And slowly but surely, it's like reinvigorated me. And to the point now today where I'm feeling like I've really enjoyed poker these last 2 weeks. We've made a few bob. We've only played when we wanted to. We've played against like a bunch of bad players, and it's been fun again. And if that makes me like weak in your eyes, oh, Reggie, you don't want to play against regs and stuff, then so be it. I mean, you've got it all wrong. Um, you don't want to be always playing against good players. You have to be playing in games where the rake is beatable for the regulars by a reasonable number. But lots of people don't seem to have that attitude these days. They just want to, just they see poker more as an academic pursuit than a money making pursuit, and I don't. I never have, and I hopefully never will. I see it very much as it's something I enjoy doing, and I want to make some money on the side with it. If I didn't make money on the side, I wouldn't continue to play poker as like an academic pursuit. But lots of guys do, and it breaks a lot of people. I was watching a stream yesterday afternoon where someone was doing a 10NL challenge, and it's not gone that badly for them, to be honest. Their win rate is reasonable in the games that they're playing in. But the variance is huge, and he was just crippled by the end. It was just a total mess. I actually thought he was going to start crying, and it was, it's just very evident of like the how moronic it is to just continue to grind shit games to like for over 140,000 hands just churn out good but albeit modest results. In terms of like big blinds per 100. And they just like keep hoping it's going to get better. It doesn't, and it won't. I've been around long enough now. I've been around speed poker long enough now. To know like the elite players progress through it, and the rest of us who are just like good but not brilliant just continue to fucking tread water. We make a small amount of money while the sites run off with all the fucking rake. It's a disgrace of a situation, and it reminds me that the fight we have as poker players isn't necessarily against each other. In this day and age, it's very much about us versus the site. How much can I win, and how little rate can I pay doing it? That was always my MO in the past. You can't have that attitude when you're playing speed poker, even though my personal rate is significantly lower than most of the players. You can't, you can't like try and win at a crushing win rate whilst keeping your rake bill down. It's just not possible. But if you game select well, if you play on softer sites in softer games and you game select well, you can have a rake. You can have a win rate that's higher than the amount of rake you're paying. Which when I was back in the day when I was like decent compared to the fields, like probably like 2011 through 2017, and I was like, in my opinion, one of the better eggs in the games I played. That was always my MO. It was always like I want to earn more from the tables than I pay in rake. And like the last 4 years, that hasn't really been the case, apart from on the apps. That just hasn't been the case. But it's what I want to get back to. I don't give a fuck about like people who describe that as a bad way to approach the game. Couldn't give a shit. It's not. It's the correct way to approach the game. I used to use the phrase years ago, like Doyle Brunson wasn't running around like the south of America in the 1950s and 60s with a fucking shotgun in the boot. So he could play against GTO wizards. He was doing that to play against the worst players in every town he visited, to take the money, get the fuck out of town. That's what he was doing, and that's what my MO is going to be again going forwards. Hopefully a little bit on Sky. We've also been playing on iPoker and just table selecting as well as possible, scanning the lobby, looking for the tables with like multiple players with below 100 big blinds, getting players tagged, knowing who the fish are, etc., and just trying to get in good games. And like it's been going well. Sky's been going well. I made some good money on Sky in March, and I think April's got off to a pretty damn good start too. So that's why I haven't been making many videos, because my volume's been so low and making videos on Sky is such a ball ache. The videos just weren't forthcoming. On top of that, I don't think it's that good these days for me to make too many videos, especially on Sky, because lots and lots of people on Sky do watch my videos, and then they just know more about me than I'd like them to know when they're playing against me. Just giving up free information to your opponents when there's no upside. I don't monetize YouTube. I don't sell coaching anymore. I don't coach. I'm not selling rate back anymore. So there's no real upside to me um, putting things on on YouTube at all, but I enjoy doing it, and there is a small community of people who seem to enjoy my content. So I'm going to do it. But as you can see, this video is going to be anonymized. My username is going to be anonymized, and so my opponent's name. So it's going to be hard for you guys to work out where I'm playing, and that is just how I want it. It's just how I want it to be, and everything's in big blinds, so um, we don't know the stakes. Just assume that for these hands, the stakes are um, somewhere between 20 NL and 50 NL. And that's as far as I'm going to say, because I've found some good games, found some good pools, and I don't particularly want to advertise them because I want them to remain good. If I advertise them and even 4 or 5 people who watch this video go to those games, it will significantly damage the makeup of the games because the pools aren't very big. So I'm afraid I'm not going to reveal where I'm playing at the moment to anybody because I just want to protect the environment for where I'm playing for as long as possible. So yeah, anyway, that's just pretty much caught up to date. We're gonna flick through some hands now. How long into the video are we? 16 minutes. That's a long bit of fucking rambling from me. If you're stuck with it this far and you've got through this bit, um, do hit the like button. Do hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and do leave a comment to make me aware that you did listen to my 16-minute, pretty self-indulgent ramble. So let's move. What I was going to do this is like a live like premium, so we could have a watch along. But maybe we'll do that in the next video because nobody wants to do a watch along where the first 17 minutes are me just talking bollocks. So yeah, anyway, let's get on with the hands. We have a limper here. We are making 5x from the big blind with the ace king of diamonds. The limper calls. We flop 2 overcards and a flush draw. Pretty nice spot. I kind of, against unknowns, I kind of just check everything out of position. I don't do that all the time against known players who I think maybe call too many C bets or don't let enough versus me C bets, etc. I will just like have a betting range into them. But against unknowns, and I'm new to this particular site, so most players are unknowns. We're just going to have a check everything policy out of position. So we check here. He bets half pot. We put the raise in. Obviously, we like our hand, we like our equity. There's very likely our opponent maybe has a better hand than us right now. But 2 overcards, nut flush draw, and fold equity. I think it's a good reason to raise. So we do raise, and he just calls. So at this point, we know we're behind. We know we're going to improve. Maybe we're not. Maybe sometimes he's just 8-7. Maybe he has worse flush draws. Maybe he has, I don't know, worse 2 overcards and just doesn't want to fold. This player did appear to be somewhat fishy over a small sample. Who knows? But I think it's safe to assume we're probably behind, and we're going to need to get some help. And we do get some help on the turn straight away with the king. And I think I should probably just lead here. I mean, I'm looking at all these hands back. I haven't reviewed any of them. These are just hands that I've tagged that I think are either going to be interesting to review from a strategical standpoint, or just hands that are going to be fun to watch again on YouTube. So I don't remember this hand. I haven't reviewed it back. Well, I remember. I remember this villain was bad. That's all I remember. But yeah, I think I should just bet here. But I don't think I'm going to. I've got a feeling I'm not going to. And I don't know what my reasoning for it was at the time. Probably just fancy play syndrome, to be frank. Or maybe I just wanted to get all the money in this street and didn't think I could do it with an overbet. I mean, maybe we just go bet here. But I think maybe what's going through my mind when I play this hand is when we check raise flop. I don't think I see players who check raise and follow up with a small bet, and it always looks shit. It always looks weak, and I think you usually associate that with weakness. But I don't want to overbet here either. I mean, maybe we can just bet small in this exact spot. Just bet 20 blinds, shove river. Maybe that's going to be fine. But I wanted to try and get all the money in this street. I knew I couldn't. Well, I could overbet shove, but I thought we'd just get maybe a few too many folds, especially if he's like Jack X or if he's floating just with pocket eights on the flop, something like that. So I went with a check again. Hope he stabbed so I could raise. But I don't think this is the best line. I don't know what the best line is because I think bet big's the line, but betting big here for me would be like 35, 40 bigs, which is more than half our stack. So we're going to bet more than half our stack on the street. We may as well bet all our stack. I didn't want to bet all my stack. So I ended up checking. Fortunately, our opponent accommodated us with another half pot bet. We just put the rest in now. Our opponent calls. We hit the ace on the river. Happy days. And we needed to get there because he had the 5-6 off, and he had us drawing. Well, not thin on the flop. We had that the backdoor 2 pair and the flush draw, the backdoor trips or what have you. But yeah, we got it all in on the turn there with the worst hand, so that's not good for our all in EV line. But never mind. I won the pot, and that's all that really matters. On to the next hand, we have Ace King. We are 3xing from the button. We get the min 3-bet from villain B. We're going to instantly assume moron when we see this. We make a 4-bet to 17 big blinds. Possibly could go bigger against someone who we think's a moron. But I have no issue with that sizing. I think it's fine, personally. He then clicks it back again, which is probably at this point me thinking, fuck, this guy's got aces or kings and we're in trouble. I don't think I'm ever going to jam against this. I think when villains do this, min 3-bet, min 5-bet, it's just going to be pocket aces, pocket kings with an absurdly high frequency. We can't fold, obviously, but it's like, what do we want to hit? Do we want to hit an ace? And then if he's got kings, we maybe don't get any more money. If we want to hit a king and then get all the money and get stacked by aces, who knows? But I know we obviously can't fold, but I think that jamming would just be a huge punt and a bad play. So we call. Then we flop top 2. So I felt a little bit happy about the situation now. I mean, obviously, if he's got aces or kings, it's just a monster cooler, and we can just live with it. He then decides to lead out for 20% pot, which is fuck knows. I mean, this looks like it. I like this sizing, but I don't think he's done this sizing as like being a really slick operator. I think he's done this sizing because he's fucking dog shit at poker, as pre-flop clearly demonstrated. I mean, there's no reason to do anything other than call here. So that's what we do. Turn is to 5 diamonds. We now got the SPR lower than 1. And our opponent bets 10 big blinds again. At this point, I was thinking maybe this guy's got queens. Maybe he's got jacks. Maybe he's just got a set still and he's just betting really small and trying milk. But I wanted to like probably jam here, I think. I mean, but he's jamming an overplay. I genuinely can't remember. Can't remember what I did. So this is a good opportunity to look back and think like, what should I do? And there's 2 flush draws out there now. I don't think either are really that relevant. We got blockers to both anyway. So I don't think it's highly unlikely this guy's got a flush draw. It's highly unlikely he's got a set of 3s or a set of 5s. It's highly unlikely he's got Jack 10, Jack Queen. So I don't think there's very much to protect against here. So I guess we just call again and just get the money in on the river. Regardless of what the river is. Maybe I wouldn't want to get it on a Queen. I don't know. I think we just call again though. Oh, I decided to make a really pathetic smile. What the fuck are you doing here, Reggie Time? What are you doing here? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe I'm just trying to induce him to jam. Maybe I'm just trying to like make it so we can just set up a really easy SPR. I don't fucking know what I'm doing there. Anyway, he does jam. And you know, we're obviously going to call it off. And this hand has been a complete clusterfuck. He's gone min 3-bet, min 5-bet, 20% flop C-bet, less than 12, 15, 16, 17% turn C-bet, and then I've put a really shit, pathetic small raise in. And then what an absolute shit show of a hand this has been from all concerned. And then the club comes on the river. Now I remember. And our opponent had that. So that entire hand is a monumental clusterfuck from all concerned. But equally delightful. So happy days. We dragged down a very nice pot in a very unconventional manner. And yeah, happy days. Into the next hand, we have 2 kings. We 3-bet. Our opponent 4-bets to 22.5 blinds. This hand I do remember because this is against a regular, one of the only regulars that was at the table when I was playing. And I just wanted to fold now. I mean, I didn't have too many stats on him, but I think he was somewhat like 21-15 with like a 4% three bet, something over 300 hands, something like that. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to fold. I really did just want to fold, but it's pocket kings pre-flop, and the old cliche through your head, don't fold kings pre bullshit comes in. So I just called and just like I don't really know, just trying to keep any bluffs in. He might have any worse hands like pocket jacks, which is now a set, pocket tens, which is now a set, pocket queens, which is still beating, obviously, and then maybe some of the, if he is a regular, maybe he's the type of regular like most regs these days, who maybe like four betting ace four and ace five as their bluffs, suited versions. So I just call to try and keep his range as wide as possible. He bets 1/3 pot on the flop. We just call. Turn to four. He goes all in for just about pot. And I was hating the situation because, I mean, maybe he plays queens like this, but he always plays jacks like this. He always plays tens like this. He always plays aces like this. Then maybe some flush draws. And I knew it was fucked. I mean, to me, he was face up as pocket aces. I think I could have saved a lot of money in this pot because, spoiler alert, he does turn up with pocket aces. And that isn't me being result orientated. I just think he's given me enough clues for me to fold pocket kings here. Because we literally only beat pocket queens and some like random bluffs that include spades, I guess. Maybe like ace five, ace five of clubs, ace five of spades. So I don't know, maybe we're not allowed, quote unquote, allowed to fold this, but I see so many players getting themselves in messes, like doing things they don't want to do because they feel they're not allowed to do it. And you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you want to just fucking, if you want to fold a royal flush, you could. Nobody could fucking stop you. And I was a bit disappointed with this call here because I felt I had enough opportunities to just get away from my hand, and I didn't do it. And a lot of people are just going to be like, yeah, it's cooler red James versus Kings. You're meant to just stack there, and we probably are, but I'm not sure we have to. I mean, I remember I made a video once when I folded Kings Pre and everyone went fucking mental, and it would have been correct to fold them. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just being a little bit result orientated, but it just felt like aces all the way through the hand. I mean, maybe not fold pre, not fold flop, maybe fold turn because like the jack and the 10 just improves some of his like pre-flop four bets if he is four betting jacks and tens. Maybe he's not four betting tens. Maybe he's sometimes four betting jacks. As we beat queens basically and some like wheelie semi bluffs. Yeah, didn't like that one. Didn't like that one at all. On to the next one. We have a king and a 10. We get a call from Villain 33, and we flop two pair. Highly delightful stuff. We bet pretty big, because why not? We get the call, turn into complete brick. We bet very big, and he check raises us to 13 bigs and just less than 3x. This isn't fun, because we've got a very good hand, but this is going to be almost certainly for value. I can't remember if this villain was a fish or a regular, but it doesn't really matter. If we assume unknown here, and then we just go into population reads, this is going to be value so often. It's going to be a turn flush draw sometimes, but most of the time it's just going to be value. Now we know he doesn't have pocket kings. It's very unlikely he has pocket tens. Maybe he's turned a set of sixes. That's, I mean, I bet pretty big on the flop, but it's still a relatively small bet. It's only four and a half lines. So even though it's a big bet relative to the pot, it's still only 4.5 lines. And I think people probably just call all pocket pairs for one bet on the flop most of the time. So he can have sets of threes, he can have sets of sixes and flush draws. I mean, we can't fold because we have two pairs, but we're not loving it. If I had one pair here, I'd fold in a heartbeat. If I had king, queen, ace, king here, king, jack, I would fold without even thinking about it. But because we have king 10, so if he is overplaying, like if he's not raised, if he's not three bet ace, king pre, if he's got king, queen, king, jack suited, there's now become a little bit scared of like the flush draw that's been created. Maybe we beat a tiny amount of value if he's like not raised a king on the flop, so we can't fold. But I'm far from in love with the situation. We call and then we live with the nuts, which is nice. So happy days for us. He goes all in. Obviously, we have a call, and yeah, he did have value on the turn there. So yeah, I'm not really sure I tagged that hand other than the fact it was an absolutely stupendous get there. Yeah, sorry, that one wasn't really interesting. Pocket kings. So we have someone who's posted here, so we've made it 4x. Villain call, and we get the 5-10-7 flop against two opponents. I'm presuming I'm going to check here. I do check. This guy bets 5.25 big blinds. We're probably going to raise, I imagine. Let's see me make it around 20 here. 23.5. A little bit on the large side, but if he's value betting, I'm not expecting to fold very often. If he's bluffing, then he's going to fold probably whatever size you make it, or unless we make it tiny, which we don't want to do on this board texture. And check raise, they're pretty polarizing play, so why not use a polarizing size? He goes all in. We come in. I don't know why this one doesn't seem particularly interesting either. And he had the 10-8 suited, yeah. Apologies for that one. That one's just a bit on the boring side too. Yeah, boring. We were long ridge. Queen 10 suited. We have first a raise on the button. I remember this hand too. This guy is, I think he's the same regular from before, but he's definitely a regular. We can tell that with the 2.5x big blind open. We 3-bet to 10 blinds. I think we could maybe make, or maybe could, or definitely should make this bigger, just to try and get some more folds. But that's the size I made it. Our opponent calls. We get a nothing kind of flop. We check. He bets really small. I don't think. I mean, maybe we can fold here. I don't think. Well, I know I'm not going to fold though. A, the hand wouldn't be in, and B, two overcards, which may or may not be any fucking use whatsoever. And backdoor flush, backdoor straight draws. There's no way I'm folding versus 1/3. So we call. Turn is the 6 of spades. We check again. He bet 17.4 blinds now, and we have a decision to make. Do we call again because we picked up a draw? Do we sometimes raise here? I mean, I can't imagine I'd have any raises for value here. If I check raise this spot, I'm almost exclusively going to be bluffing. Just trying to make my opponent fold a hand like pocket nines, pocket sevens, some ace highs that are just trying to make me fold something. You know, I think we can make. We've got queen high. We can make a lot of better hands fold. But how often are our opponents double barreling with like weak hands in this spot? Not too often, I don't think. But maybe hands like pocket fives, pocket sevens, pocket nines, are going to feel quite weak when we put a check raise in. You know, if our opponents have got like the medium pairs here that they're desperately trying to protect, do they then fold them into this line of 3-bet pre, check call flop, check raise turn? I mean, if we do check raise, it looks strong. Yeah, I'm never strong when I do it. I'm always fucking bluffing when I take this line because I have very little 8x in my range. I don't have pocket fours. I don't have pocket sixes because I don't 3-bet those hands with the small blind. So my range for doing this is just going to be pretty much exclusively air because I'm probably c-betting my aces, kings, etc. to get value from the medium pairs. So you know, my personal range here is like exclusively air, but my opponents don't necessarily know that, and this guy certainly won't because he won't know me from a hole in the wall. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly, I put the raise in. Don't know what I think about that size. Don't think it really matters too much. Our opponent sets me in, and now we need like 20% equity to call. Assuming we're not drawing dead, we have that with our flush draw or thereabouts. This is pretty spewy. I think maybe we don't have to call off here, but I think it's close. You know, we're almost getting, what to say there, 19.7% equity required. Assuming we're not drawing dead, we've probably got that. But some of our outs are maybe going to be dirty. You know, maybe for example, maybe we can't hit the 4 of spades, for example. Maybe, you know, we can't hit a flush because he's got a higher flush draw. So I think this is definitely a little bit punty, but whatever. We call it off, and we get there, and we beat the ace 8 of clubs. Happy days for me. In your face, Reggie. I'm saying in your face, Reggie to villain 4, not Reggie, which is basically Reggie pronounced incorrectly. So there we go. We dragged down a nice pot from a reg, and it's always nice to win a fucking pot from a reg, especially in a way where he's entitled to be pissed off. Because I did play my hand a little bit like a monkey. Onto pocket nines, next hand. Player calls of just 12 bigs in the small. And another player calls in the big blind. Both of these guys are fish, obviously, for stack sizes, and we flop ourselves a set. This guy leads out for half pot. This guy calls. We raise, just basically hoping this guy's got an ace. That's all we're doing here. We hope if he's. I mean, we don't give a fuck about this guy. We're hoping this guy's got an ace or a flush draw. Basically, I don't expect him to fold. He's a fish. Ace high flop, flush draws out there, straight draws out there. I do not expect him to fold very much that calls. Certainly not to this sizing. And we just want to build the pot while we've got the best hand. He does call. King on the turn. He checks. We bet 22 blinds. He calls. River, the flush card comes in. But there's no way we're not going to value bet for our last 30 bigs. What? Please what, Reg? What are you talking? You fucking cunt, Reg. I do not remember this hand, and I should have lost 28.75 more blinds in this hand. What a cunt! Evidence that is proof. Any of you guys who think, "Oh, Reg is bullshitting," when he doesn't remember, that is evidence that I do not fucking remember a lot of the hands I have played. Some I do, some I don't. This is shit. Fair enough, I checked back and I saved myself 28.75 blinds in this particular spot. But fuck off, Reg. Just shove the fucking river, man. So many worse hands that are just going to call us. Just fuck off, Reg. But also, well done, Reg, because you saved yourself 30 bigs. Right, next hand. What the fuck? That was this hand making it into a fucking Reggie compilation. What is this all about? Min raise button. Call from a small blind. Excuse me. Big blind folds. Now this one, I actually have no, I don't know. Anyways, we've got a pair and a backdoor flush draw. Check. We bet. He calls. We turn trip eights. Now I'm starting to get the impression on all whites in now because all of a sudden we've got a good hand. We turn trip eights. Our opponent checks. We bet quite big again, clearly targeting like King X, maybe 10X. He's a fish, he hasn't got a full stack, so he maybe still calls with 10X. Jack, Queen, flush draws, etc. Just no reason to bet small here against a fish. He calls again. Remember, he's a 7. He leads into us for 9.7 big blinds, and if I don't raise here for all of my chips, I'll be incredibly disappointed. If I just call again here, then next time you see me, you've got every right to kick me in the bollocks. Yeah, we do raise. He calls, whatever, so he's obviously got something good. 9-8 suited, whatever. Bit dull, bit boring. Don't really know why it's in there. Next hand, pocket kings. We have fish calling. Don't know about this guy. He's got 200 big blinds, so he might not be a fish. We squeeze it up to 17 bigs. We want to try and get this guy heads up if we can. Then we just get a massive cold call out of the big blind, which is always fun. Then he folds and he calls. So here we go. We're going 3 ways to the flop. There is going to be 54 big blinds in the pot. And, we're clearly up against 2 fish, you would imagine. Jack 9 for rainbow. What do I want to see myself do here? Probably just bet and bet pretty big. Bet 30 bigs, shove turn, Reg. Seems reasonable. 23 bigs, whatever. We're going to be a shove to turn off that, aren't we? But I'd prefer to see me go a little bit bigger. Call. Okay. Yes, I remember this hand now. I remember thinking, what the fuck do I do on this turn? I mean, we improve to a good shot. We block King, Queen. We lose to a plethora of hands. We lose to a plethora of 2 pairs. We lose to sets that decided not to raise the flop. we lose to pocket tens and decided to float the flop. This turn was just like, what the fuck? What do we do here? There's 125 in the pot. We've got like half pot left. And we've got two very obvious fish. So I was like, so do I just like not go all in because like how do we get called by worse? Do we go all in because if someone's got better, fuck them. Our hand could use some protection. We don't want to give a free card here. And I remember the hand now. They were both looking like they were going to be fish on HUD stats. So I went with the just let's go all in option, which is never nice when you multi-way in a spot like this because it's not going to be too hard to get called by worse, but I don't think we're ever going to be like a huge favourite in this spot when we do get called. So he raises and goes all in. This guy calls behind. I mean, what the fuck is this spot all about? I mean, who knows what's going on here? But it's probably very obvious that we're beat at this point. Only we weren't beat, because one guy had the 10-7 suited, who just floated the flop with his gut shot on his backdoor flush draw. The other guy had the 10-8 offsuit, who just decided to call pre-flop, call pre, then call a 17 blind squeeze. And they were both still very much behind on the turn, and they both got there on the river, and that it didn't stink. And I'm enjoying poker these days, and it's just I'm delighted to be able to be in games like this. But what a cunt of a river! What a cunt of a river! 332 big blinds, shipping the way to the guy with the 10-8 offsuit, motherfucker. Two kings. We raise. We get squeezed by a short stack fish. I mean, not sure what is this hand in. What is this hand? Whatever, Reg. Boring. Don't even know. So apologise for that one. Don't even know why it's in there. Apart from someone just stuffed it in pre for 40 bigs or whatever with ace 10. Big fucking deal. Bore off, Reg. We're going to flop a set here. I'm pretty sure of that. Otherwise, this hand would not be in. What a surprise. We flopped a set. Woohoo. Check, I guess. Overbet. What do we do with bottom set versus overbet? I mean, fuck knows. I mean, this shouldn't be a thing, I don't think. But he's obviously a fish due to stack size. I mean, just call, I guess. No, all in. Well played, Reg. I mean, I guess I'm just putting this guy on a strong hand that isn't folding when he overbets multi-way. I guess I didn't want to see a shit turn. I guess I didn't want to check the turn, have him check back. Whatever. I mean, that's what I did. We got instantly called off. Ah, yes, that's why that hand's in. Because our opponent overbet ace 10 off on 7 deuce 6. And if I recall correctly, he could not beat me into the pot faster with his call. It was highly delightful. I was just disappointed that he had a little bit of backdoor equity, to be honest. But there you go. Yeah, if you do it right and you game select well, you too can get in games where your opponent overbets flop multi-way with nothing and calls off. What's the time to be alive? This is the last hand of the video. We've min raised under the gun with the 9-8 suited. We flop trip 8s. This hand's going to be truly interesting. We bet 2/3 pot. Our opponent calls. Turn is a 10. Our opponent now leads into us. I don't think we have any raises here. Maybe we should. I don't know. We do just call low. Ribbit is the deuce of clubs. And opponent bets. And I guess it's just it's an issue here. First of all, is there any value in raising? Do we like? Does he have 8-5? No. So we get value from 8-7, which is not very many combinations. Maybe only one. Maybe just the 8-7 of hearts. What else can we get value from? Maybe we get value from 10x that's just improved on the turn, and I think he's got the best hand. So it's one of those spots where, how much value is there in a race here, or are we just going to be when we get called? Is our opponent just going to have the better hand ready off? It's not hard to have a better 8, 10-8 Jack 8, Ace 8 suited. Big blind, I'm in raise. He could have like lots and lots and lots of suited 8x, a lot of which have like better kicker than us. He's way more likely to have like 10-8 through Ace 8 than he is 8 deuce 8 3 8 4, for example. I don't know. I don't know if we should raise here or not. I expect I will raise, but I'm not sure if we. No, I did just call. Maybe that is a raise. And our opponent, he wasn't calling with that hand. Our opponent had 4 deuce off. So, yeah, I've been in good games and things have been going pretty well. I say Sky's been going pretty well. And these are my results this week so far. It says this month, but when I've been playing, this is just my results for this week because I'm on like somewhere I haven't played somewhere I haven't played before actually. So things are going pretty well. We're winning at 14 bigs over a small sample, all the EV of 10 bigs, and that looks like this in graph format. Pretty happy with that. Red line's a complete joke. I'm going to show you because I don't give a fuck. Red line is really bad. We're losing at like 20 big blinds, 100 red line. It's a fucking shambles. But it's just like the games are good because I'm game selecting really well. I'm taking so much care of my game selection that I just tons and tons and tons of multi-way pots. I just basically, I've always been a blue line player anyway. This red line is really bad at the minute. It leveled out a little bit last night. I made a few adjustments last night and maybe it'll level out a little bit. I don't really care if my red line, I don't really want it to go down as alarmingly as that. But as long as my blue line's going up faster than my red line's going down, then ultimately I don't really care that much. Although, obviously we can save some money by just getting this a little bit better. And if we can get this a little bit better without it coming off this too much, then even better still. But I mean, if this was my graph in like 30,000 hands time, when I'm still winning at 10 big blinds all in adjusted EV, then I don't really care what my red line's doing, to be frank. If my red line continues going down at that rate, but my blue line's going up remarkably high because I'm just in really fishy games, let's live with it. I won't really give a fuck. So yeah, there's the update. I'm not sure how many more of these I'm going to do. Another reason why I haven't been doing videos the last week or so is because it's currently college holidays, and both of people I work with are college students, so I am off college at the moment. They are off college at the moment, so it's extra work for me to do. I don't know. I mean, I'd much rather do collaboration videos. I'd much rather like review other people's hands and just review my own. Because a lot of my hands are really quite boring because I'm a fucking nit. So a lot of my hands are just like, oh, Reggie's got a big hand and it's been cracked, or Reggie's got a big hand and it's held. I don't get too many like mind-bendingly interesting spots because I just don't put myself in them. But I do like it when other people do, and I do like discussing it with them. Like the hand I did with Tim, the video I did with Tim the other week, really massively enjoyed that. And Tim, if you do watch this, please do get back in touch again. I don't want to harass you via Discord, but I'd love to do some more of that with you. I'm hoping to rope a Sky player into doing some videos where we review his play, but it's a bit of a long shot. But yeah, I would much rather review your hands with you than than make my own videos. So most of my videos going forward are more likely to be videos where I'm talking to somebody. It won't be the end of the Secret Diary series for the year. There'll be the occasional update, with how things are going, what's going on in my life, what's going on with my poker, etc. So we're not finished with them, but they're not going to be regularly updated. So if you want to see more videos, then get involved. Help me create content by getting in touch with me and saying, let's review some hands, Reg. And I'd be delighted to do that with you. But anyways, we're going to leave it there now because I've talked long enough and I'm going to play some poker for an hour or so. Take care, everybody. Nice to catch up with you again. And yeah, be lucky. If you can't be lucky, try and be good. And if you can be both, then that is fucking phenomenal. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely week, and bye-bye for now.